In a bustling city, where the rush of daily life can sweep even the strongest off their feet, a young woman named Maya found herself trapped, not by walls or bars, but by her own choices. She was running out of time and options, teetering on the edge of losing everything she had ever worked for. As the pressure mounted, a chance encounter with an unlikely mentor would push Maya to confront a painful truth. The only way to save herself was to embrace the one thing she had always avoided: self-discipline. But would she be able to muster the strength before it was too late? This is a story of suspense, of a life on the brink, and of how the path to freedom is often found within the confines of our own self-control. Maya had always been a free spirit. In her early 20s, she had moved to the city with dreams of becoming a successful writer. The allure of the city lights, the endless opportunities, and the chance to live life on her own terms were too strong to resist. She dove headfirst into the vibrant nightlife, attended every party, and embraced the chaos that came with a city that never sleeps. For a while, it seemed like everything was falling into place. She had a small but growing following on her blog, a group of friends who adored her, and a life that others envied. But beneath the surface, things were starting to unravel. Maya's writing had become sporadic, her deadlines frequently missed. The parties that once energized her were now leaving her drained and unproductive. Her savings dwindled as her income became more unreliable. The final straw came when she missed a critical deadline for a major publication. The editor, who had been patient with her 4 months, sent a blunt email: "Maya, we can't keep waiting. If you don't deliver by tomorrow, we'll have to pass on your article." The email was a wake-up call. Maya knew she had to get her life back on track, but the idea of cutting back on her social life, of saying no to her friends, and of imposing a routine on herself felt suffocating. She had always associated discipline with restriction, and freedom with the ability to do whatever she wanted, whenever she wanted. But now, with her career on the line, she was beginning to realize that her version of freedom was nothing more than a gilded cage. Desperate and unsure of where to turn, Maya found herself wandering into a small, dimly lit bookstore late one night. The owner, an elderly man with a kind face and a serene demeanor, seemed to sense her distress. "Looking for something specific?" he asked. "I don't know," Maya replied, her voice tinged with frustration. I need to get my life together, but I don't know how." The old man nodded thoughtfully. He reached behind the counter and pulled out a worn, leather-bound book. "This is not just a book," he said, placing it in her hands. "It's a guide. It won't give you the answers, but it will help you find them." Maya was skeptical, but something about the man's calm confidence made her take the book home. That night, she started reading. The book was about self-discipline, but not in the way she had expected. It spoke of discipline as a tool for empowerment, not as a form of punishment. It described how creating boundaries and routines could actually lead to greater freedom from anxiety, from the chaos of an unstructured life, and from the fear of failure. As she turned the pages, Maya felt something shift inside her. She decided to give it a try. She set her alarm for 6 a.m., planned her day the night before, and committed to writing for 2 hours every morning before doing anything else. The first few days were hard. She was tempted to hit snooze, to skip her writing session and scroll through social media instead. But the memory of that email kept her going. Slowly, the routine became easier, and Maya began to notice a change in herself. Her writing improved, her focus sharpened, and for the first time in a long while, she felt in control. The next article she submitted to the publication was not just on time, but it was her best work yet. The editor's response was enthusiastic, and she was offered a regular column. Maya's confidence soared, and with it, Her career began to take off, but the most surprising change was how she felt about her life. The boundaries she had set for herself, the discipline she had once feared, had actually given her a sense of freedom she had never known. She no longer felt overwhelmed by the demands of her career or her social life. She had learned to say no when she needed to prioritize her goals, and to balance her work and play in a way that kept her energized and fulfilled. Months later, as she sat in the same bookstore, now a regular visitor, she realized how far she had come. The old man, who had become a friend and mentor, smiled as she recounted her journey. "It's funny," she said, "I thought freedom was doing whatever I wanted. But I've learned that real freedom is being in control of my own life." The man nodded, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. "Self-discipline is the path to freedom," he said softly. "It's a paradox that many never understand, but those who do, like you, find a kind of freedom that few ever achieve." Thank you for joining us on this journey through Maya's story. Her experience reminds us that the true essence of freedom, not in the absence of constraints, but in the ability to control our own destinies. By embracing self-discipline, Maya unlocked the power within herself to create the life she had always dreamed of. It's a lesson we can all learn from, that sometimes the structure we resist is the very thing that will set us free. We hope you've enjoyed this tale from Tales with Meaning. Don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts with us. Remember, self-discipline is not about limitation, it's about liberation. Until next time, stay inspired.